Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Mark, as it says on the chocolate egg here. And if, like me, you're realizing that actually there's a way that you would like to show up that feels real and authentic, and you're tired of coming across as someone you're not, or for some reason putting on this facade or this really weird voice or acting differently, then welcome, and you're going to enjoy today's video. This video is a little bit different than usual for a few reasons, and it's not just because we're the 1st of April, which, by the way, I need to clarify something. So my April Fool this year, you might have noticed on Instagram. Now, what I realized is that maybe I'm not the best person to come up with April Fools every year, because I kind of think that they're funny, but actually they seem a little bit too real for certain people. And so what I'm learning is that I either need to stop doing April Fool, or I need to come up with things that for me seem pretty big and crazy, but actually take it 10 times further so that people don't believe me. So you might have seen the photo of Gary Vaynerchuk on my Instagram, and yeah, I mean, I met him when he came and gave a talk in London. He's not my next guest on the Unconventionalists. He will be one day. I don't know when, and he doesn't know it yet, but it's happening. Thank you to all of you who was like super supportive and super happy that he was coming on the show, and to the few of you who actually understood that it was the 1st of April and kind of called me out on it. So well done to you. Now, that's out of the way. One thing that's been on my mind, and especially over the last few days, we came out in the countryside to be with our family, and it's been amazing to kind of be disconnected from a lot of the day-to-day hustle and bustle, right? Of all the kind of the email and the inbox and the checking and the social media and, you know, putting out all this content. And one of the things that's been on my mind is that how I made this commitment in January 2015 to release a video every single week and to grow my YouTube channel. And I didn't really know what I was doing or why I was doing it. I just knew I wanted to build a YouTube channel, build an audience, and it's been an incredible journey. And I think I pretty much released a video every single week since then, and have grown the YouTube channel now to over 2,600 subscribers at the time, at least, of this video. And thanks to you if you've subscribed. If you haven't, you can always do that. What's been interesting is that even though I've been releasing a video every week, you know, the views haven't been anything dramatically in terms of increase, right? So it hasn't gone from a few views to suddenly thousands of views, and I've been wondering, what is that about? Is it a question of my content? Is it my face? Is it, you know, SEO? Is it the subjects I'm talking about? And there's a few things I think that have come up for me. The first one is that I think there's something about the energy you put in when you put content out there. And I think it's come to the point where it's almost like I have to put it out. And so my energy is, shit, I have to put this video out, therefore I do it because I said I would, as opposed to I'm doing it because I want to change someone's life. Or I want to do this video because I think this is really important, this really matters. I think it's also playing around with formats. I mean, I became a dad 6 months ago, so recording at home has been a total nightmare because there's just no space or time or quiet time, I guess, to record it. And so that's been a bit of a challenge, but that's an excuse, right? And so I think what I've kind of decided is to actually take a different route and to try and be a little bit more real and genuine, and share from a place of what's happening, what's going on for me, so I can hopefully help you on your journey too. I'm still super keen to answer questions, actually in a Q&A format. I really thrive on that, so please continue to post your questions on my channel. I really appreciate that. But I think it came to a point where I was realizing, now if you're, by the way, if you're subscribed to my podcast, then you'll know that I often come across actually quite different on my podcast, but probably a bit more natural, a bit more at ease than on video. And for some reason, up until recently, I kept on putting on this persona, and I didn't intend to, right? But I'd press record on the camera, and it'd be like this, hi and welcome back to the show. And it's not what I want to be, and it's not what I want to put out there, and it's not who I want you to think I am, or that I want you. Actually, you know what it is? I don't want you to think that you need to be someone you're not in order to show up powerfully. And that's been something that's really kind of been on my mind, I think, and it's taken these few days to kind of quiet down, relax, and to really get back in tune with what I want to create and what I want to do. And what I'm really excited about, actually, is because I've since my daughter was born, I've really put a back burner on the podcast, and I'm really excited actually to launch the 10th season. And I've got some really, really exciting guests lined up, and I'm reaching out to a few more. But I think this is going to be like one of the best seasons yet. And I think it might be because I'm also taking the time to really curate the guests for this season, try and prepare in advance, have a theme, actually an overarching theme to my 10th season, which is crazy. I'll be 3 years this year that I've been hosting the Unconventionalists podcast. So if you haven't checked it out, go on iTunes, look it up. And if you like it, love for you to leave a rating and a review. It just helps a lot. I want to share a bit more what's real, share with you what's going on, and maybe like a mix of a vlog and a Q&A, that kind of stuff, without making it complicated, and hopefully bring value to you. So if you've got questions, or if you've got something that's been on your mind, that you've been following me for a while, or you've got questions about how to show up more powerfully in your community, how to step up to your leadership, how to find your voice, how to stand out from the crowd and from the sea of noise. If you've got questions related to that, I'd love to hear them, because what I've kind of noticed is that I've done a lot of this typical kind of Q&A questions, which I've loved, about like the technical aspects of things or something that you might be challenged with. But actually what I found, and it's what I tell a lot of my students and a lot of my participants and clients, is that actually the technicality of things and learning how to do something is like 5%, 10% sometimes at best. The real work, I find, and what gets me most excited, the real work is actually what happens internally, right? What's holding you back inside that you may not want the world to know about. And that usually revolves around something to do with who am I to want to do this? Or do I have what it takes? Am I good enough? Do I love myself enough, right? And it's like these kind of really important topics is what makes me come alive a lot. And so I want to do a little bit more around that. And I just want to take this time to pause and let you know what's going to happen on this channel, a little bit of changes. Don't know exactly what that's going to look like. What I would love to do is be able to film my interviews that I'm doing on my podcast, because these are incredible human beings. They've got such incredible stories. They're inspiring because they're brave enough to be humble in their beginnings and stories, and sharing the ups and downs and the reality of who they are, you know, and that takes a lot of courage, I find. And I think I fail sometimes to acknowledge my guests on that point, because I get a range of guests from people you've never heard of to people you've definitely heard of and probably follow. And I think across the range, we managed to have a really down-to-earth conversation, and love to bring that to video, right? I've experimented a couple of video interviews that you've probably seen, from the Daniel Priestleys to the Johnny Bang Rileys, Johnny Benjamin. It's been really great. It just takes a lot of effort in terms of logistics and resources, and I wish it was easier. So if you've got some tips on how can I make this easier, how can I make this simple, please let me know in the comments below. I really appreciate that. And yeah, I think that's it. I think I just wanted to kind of spend a little break during this Easter weekend, be in nature, be inspired a little bit by the fact that it's not raining. It was supposed to be snowing. It is cold, thus the hipster hat on. And yeah, it's Easter. And how cool is this? How cool is this? I got a Easter egg from mother-in-law that has my name on it, right? So I'm going to devour this. I am going to enjoy this, is what I'm going to do today. That's it. Love life. Eat some chocolate. Be well. And yeah, any questions, let me know. And I'm looking forward actually to remove that pressure of having to be a certain way, appearing a certain way, and actually finding my own style, my own voice. And hey, if it's no longer what you like or enjoy, I get it, and I won't take offense. Please find another channel that might serve you better. And if this is what you want more of, like a bit more real, a bit more kind of down to earth and what's really happening, then love for you to stick around and let me know how I can help and serve you. That's it, I'm going to shut up now. Thanks so much for watching this. I'm not going to finish off with my typical, if you enjoy this, subscribe, leave a comment. If you do, that's great. If not, I'll hopefully see you next time. Leave a question in the comments below and suggestions on how can I help and serve you more. That'd be great. All right, there goes my career.